Hi friends, welcome to GK Tech Talk. In today's video we are going to see object class. In Java, object class is very important. So basically object class is the super class for all the classes. We'll go through all the methods of object class and what are the methods we extensively using for so many things in Java. So we'll just get started with object class. What are the methods available? We'll just go through the presentation. See, object class containing toString method, hash code method, equals and get class, clone method, finalize wait method, and notify all. Basically in these methods, first the important method is toString method. Basically the toString method will give the string representation of an object. Suppose if you created a class called employee, for that employee if you try to print the toString method, it will give some non-readable format. If you want to give meaningful representation, then you need to use toString method. You need to override that particular method. Why? Because for every class object is a super class, then you need to override that method. Then once you override in that method, you can get the meaningful representation. Basically object class is the super class for all classes. Object class is in lang package, java.lang package. Lang package is the default package for in Java, so you no need to import it specifically, but it will be available already. Okay, all methods of the object class are available in all classes of Java. Okay, so you no need to import, that's why it is default package. Okay, first we will go through what are the methods available. toString method, hash code method, equals method, and get class, and clone method, wait method, notify and notify all. So notify all, wait, these methods are related to threads. When we are discussing regarding threads, that time we will discuss these methods. Okay, and important methods are toString method, hash code method, equals method. These three methods are very important. Why? Because we used to use these methods for our implementation purpose. Okay, based on our requirement. Suppose if you want to compare two employee objects, if you want to compare to your custom objects, then you need to override equals method and hash code method. And if you want to represent in a string format, then you need to use toString method. Okay, that we will see programmatically how we can use toString method. Okay, I'm just opening a class. See, I already created employee.java here. Okay, so I already created employee.java. Here I have employee number, employee name. In case if I created an object for employee class, I'm just creating public static void main. It's a common thing, string aux. Okay, here I have main method, so I'm creating employee object. How we can create employee object? Employee emp equal to new employee. Okay, so now I created employee object. If you do emp dot toString, then you will get this string representation of that, but you didn't override anything. So in our employee class there is no toString method, but it will call the object class toString method. Why? Because object class is a super class. Super class methods are available for subclasses. That is the point. So even if you try to print directly system.out.println, if you give an emp here, then also it will call the toString method of employee class. toString method of employee class. There is no toString method here, right? Then obviously it will check in the super class. What is the super class for employee? Super class is object, so it will call the object class toString method. So I will just run it. We'll get a non-readable format of employee class, so we can't able to understand what it is saying. Okay, just see this. See, object class demo employee, some number it is generating, some alphanumeric type of number it's generating, right? We are not able to read it, but I want to provide a meaningful representation in string format to my employee class. So that what we have to do is we need to override that toString method. Okay, so I'm going to override now. So how we can override? Just so one more thing I forgot to explain. So basically whenever you placed an object inside a system.out.println, by default it will call the toString method. You no need to call explicitly. Even you can call like this, emp.toString. You can even call like this. This is also same and this one also same. Both are same. But whenever you place inside system.out.println, then by default it will call the toString method only. Okay. So this is how toString method is calling, but we want to override the toString method. So even you can right click, go to source, generate toString method. There is a option, right? So even we have option hash code and equals, that we will see later. Now I am generating the toString method. So clicked on, I am generating the toString method. See, it's generated by default. I am using Eclipse. Even whatever ID you used, I hope this will be available. Okay, most of the IDs will have that option. You can just explore and see. And see here, now it is representing the employee number and employee name as a employee object string format. Okay, now if I try to run the same thing, now I will get the meaningful implementation. Why? Because I overridden the toString method. See, employee number 0, employee name null. Why? Because I didn't set anything. So now I am setting something into employee class, emp.set employee number 1. Okay, and emp.set employee name gk tech talks, and simply check creating our channel name. Okay, now run this. See what happened? We got employee 1, employee name gk tech talks. Now we are getting the meaningful representation of our employee class. This is how toString method will be helpful. Okay, so the next method, we'll go to the next method. So we already gone through the toString method. toString method will give the string representation of your class. Okay, and if there is no toString method, then our class object class toString method will be called. Okay, we are going to the next method. Next important method is hash code. Basically hash code is the unique number given for each and every object. Whenever you created an object, and if you call for hash code method, then you will get the unique representation of your object, some number, random number that will be generated by JVM. So this will be useful at the time of searching algorithms, and while we are storing our objects inside a hash map or hash table, there internally they are using this hashing technique to store the values in different order. Okay, so based on that it will sort and it will do so many things using that hashing technique. Okay, how we can do this hash code implementation in our class? So each and every object should have a unique number. So here in our employee class, employee ID is different, but employee name will be sometimes similar employee names will be there, but employee ID should be unique, right? So in our hash code method, we need to return the employee ID as a unique number. So that is our hash code. Okay, so hash code has to be unique for each and every object. It should not be same. We need to implement it properly. If you want to implement it, you need to implement it in a unique way. Why? Because every time it has to give the unique value. Let's see how we can implement the hash code. So right now if you try to call the hash code for this one, then you will get some random number. Just see. And just give the integer number. Basically see, some random number it is generating some number. Instead of this, I am trying to override that method. So then it has to give meaningful way, like so. Similarly, previously how we did, similarly we can do now. Source, generate hash code and equals. So it is generating hash code and equals method. So forget about equals method for now. I'm just deleting it. Okay, forget about it. Just we are concentrating on this one. See, it is generated some logic, right? So to create unique number, it is using employee name and employee, but even you can directly return the employee number as a hash code. So why? Because it will be unique, right? That's why. Forget about all these things. Simply return this dot employee number. So this is the unique one. So that's why we can make use of it. Generally Eclipse is providing that implementation for you to provide the unique one using two values whatever you selected at the time of generation. So instead of that, even you can directly write your own logic. Okay, see, now I am creating one more employee class, emp1. I'm passing employee number as 2. This time I'm passing 2. This time's name is same but employee number is different. Then again I am trying to print both values, toString value and as well as hash code value. So if we run it, now we can find the difference, right? So 1 2 hash code value is changing. So now we are going to see one more important method, that is called equals method. So we'll check it. What is equals method? Basically equals method is used to compare two methods. Before going to that, here one more point we have to identify, like toString method internally calls hash code method. Internally it will call the hash code method, but if you override the toString method, then it won't call the hash code method. Okay, if you didn't override, it will call the hash code method internally. Okay, now we are coming to equals method. Use it to check the compare two objects are same or not, and two objects are same, then it will return true. If two objects are not same, it will return false. Okay, that we can verify with equals method. Equals method is available already in objects class, that will compare the reference of two objects. If you override, then you can compare based on the employee ID and employee name, right? So Java doesn't know regarding your employee class, so it will compare basically the references where the memory locations it will compare, and it will, if it is belongs to same memory location, then it will say it is a same object. Okay, we'll just try without implementing the equals method in our class. I will try to compare two objects, then we'll see what it will say. It will say true or false. Okay, and one more thing you have to identify, you have to notice is, like all wrapper classes and string classes are already overridden this particular equals method and hash code methods, so that whenever you compare two strings, equals method will give the proper result based on the content of that particular string. Okay, so we'll go to practical thing. So here we have two employees, both are different, right? So I'm just trying to compare emp dot equals emp1, right? emp1. If both are equal, then it will print both are equal. So generally now both are two different objects, so definitely it will give both are not equal. It won't give both are equal. Why? Because the references are pointing to different objects, so it won't give. In case, suppose if I did like this, emp1 equal to emp, if I did like this, now both are referring to the same object. So now if you try to give, it will compare the references, right? So see, now it is saying both are equal. Why? Because right now it is comparing the references. Even you have same values here, it won't even you have same values, and if you don't do this one, it will say both are not equal only. Until unless both objects are referring to the same reference, by default it will say not equal. It won't compare the content. So employee names and employee IDs, it won't compare by default. So you need to override that equals method, and you need to compare that employee ID and number. So employee ID and employee name, you have to compare. Based on that, based on our requirement, we can say these two objects are same or not. We need to write that logic inside equals method. Otherwise it will simply compare the references and it will say true. Sometimes it will say false based on the references. Okay, now we are going to override the equals method. Okay, I'll keep this if condition here. I'm going to do that override. I'm going to employee class, just do this same way, and then we'll override it. See, it given some logic, right? Forget about this hash code thing. Even you can, it is also just doing something, and finally it is returning the unique result. Okay, so even you can directly, as I previously said, you can directly give the employee number here. Okay, employee number also unique, right, for each and every employee. So if you come to here, first we need to check this object is null or not. In case if you are writing on your own, we need to write on your own means you need to follow some steps. First we need to check this particular object is null or not. If it is null, we'll go step by step. So if it is null, then we need to return false. Okay, next, this one is not required. Next we need to compare that particular object is employee type or not. That one we have to compare first. Object instance of is an operator. We already discussed instance of employee. Instance of, if it is instance of employee, it's fine. Otherwise it will return, else it will return false. Okay, else return false. Next one is we have to convert that into employee. If it is instance of employee, then we are converting. Then I am going to compare two things here, employee name and employee number. Both we have to compare here. Okay, I am just placing this comparison inside here. Just observe, employee name we are checking. So employee name equal to null, and if this is not equal to null, then it is returning false. And then employee name equals to employee name, then it's not equal to, it's written false. Otherwise, so all three things we are comparing. So employee name and employee number we are comparing. Based on that we are returning true or false, right? That's it. So this is how we can write our own equals method based on our conditions. Here I am taking employee number and name. Maybe in your case there will be multiple things we need to compare to decide either this object and that object is same or not. Okay, so now we'll just, so now we have two objects, emp and emp1, both are having same employee name and same employee ID. So we need to get both are equal, right? So why it's not coming? Yeah, 1 minute. Here we have to set here, basically that is the problem. Okay, so now we try. See, now both are equal. In case if I change the employee number here to 2, now we won't get that both are equal. Why? Because it won't match with the employee number. Okay, this is how it will be. Like if you want to compare two objects, then you need to override equals and hash code method. Both methods you need to override. So internally equals method will make use of hash code method. Okay, so both objects are equal or not, you have to decide. Here one thing you have to observe is this equals method and hash code method are interlinked each other. So how it will be is, so here we are using the employee number. Maybe there will be chance of both employee numbers are same, then definitely that object should be equal, correct? So hash code is same, then objects should be equal. That we need to keep in our mind. Like these rules are very important while implementing your own hash code and equals method. So we'll go through those rules first. See, if two objects are equal by equals method, then their hash codes also must be equal. Okay, if two objects are not equal, then hash codes may be equal or may not be equal. So we no need to worry about hash codes if two objects are not at all equal by equals method. In case if hash codes are equal, then definitely objects are equal. So if two objects hash codes are not equal, then objects are not equal by equals method. Okay, these are the 4 things we have to keep in mind, and we need to verify our equals and hash code method are working correctly or not. Okay, next one is clone method. The process of creating exactly duplicate object is nothing but cloning. Cloning this object and we are creating one more object is called cloning. There are 2 types of cloning, shallow cloning and deeply cloning. Shallow cloning is in the sense whenever we clone the object, then that will be impacted by second object. If you change anything in the actual object, that will impact the cloned object also. We can clone only clonable objects. Clonable objects in the sense our class should implement a clonable interface. Clonable interface is a marker interface. Marker interface in the sense there will be no functionality which will be provided by us. It will be provided by JVM. JVM will take care of cloning these objects. Once our class is implemented clonable interface, then our class is that particular object is eligible for cloning. Okay, once we clone the object, then we can get the similar object. There are 2 types of cloning. One is shallow cloning and deep cloning. Shallow cloning in the sense changes will be applied to clone objects. So creating duplicate objects independent of the actual object is nothing but shallow cloning. Okay, these are the 2 types. And next important method is getClass. GetClass method gives a class definition at the time of runtime. This one we can see at the time of JDBC implementation. Next one is finalize method. Finalize method will be executed just before garbage collection. So garbage collection in the sense whenever there is no need of object references, it will remove those references from the memory. Those objects will be removed from the memory. Before doing the cleanup things, our JVM will call this finalize method. If you override the finalize method in your class, wait, notify, and notify all. I already told you these methods are very important at the time of inter-thread communication. We'll see regarding these methods inside that threads concept. Okay, that's it, friends. These are the important points as part of object class. This clone and clonable, will see a program how to do shallow cloning and deeply cloning. We'll see a method by cloning two different techniques will do that. And you have to remember, you can't clone directly, you have to your class should implement a clonable interface. Okay, so these are the important methods. Mainly you have to understand this toString method, hashcode method, and equals method. So these methods will be useful at the time of comparisons and at the time of representation of your object in a string format. Okay, I hope this video will be clear, and this video will give more understanding regarding the object class and the methods available inside that. If you have any questions, please give a comment below so that I will help you out to understand whatever doubt you have in this topic or any other topic. Please give a comment so that I will help you out. Okay, thanks friends for watching this video. I will do separate video for cloning. In that we'll discuss practically how we can do the cloning. And once again I will just recap what we did. We created an employee class and we created toString method for that, hashcode method and equals method. Hashcode and equals method interlinked each other, and whenever you are trying to compare two objects using equals method, if you don't override the equals method, then it will compare the references of that particular object. So if references are pointing to the same memory location, then you will get equal. If references are not pointing to the same memory location, even those two objects are having the same employee ID, same employee name, but still it will give objects are not equal. So to correct that, we need to override our equals method and we need to write our logic based on our requirement, and we need to use the hash code also as part of it. Otherwise there is a relation between hash code and equals method that has to be satisfied, otherwise our equals method will go wrong. Okay, so these are the very important things before doing some operations with your class and some comparisons, and if you are going to use them inside a hash map and hash table, these things you have to understand. Okay, that's it friends, that's it for this video. We'll go through cloning, how to do cloning and all these things in the next video. We'll meet in next video. Till then, take care, keep coding, and try to ask more questions and learn it better. Okay, thanks for watching. Please share our channel to your friends and family who wants to learn Java and other web technologies. Like we are already going through HTML5 and CSS3 with responsive website making. Please go through that tutorial as well, and if you have any questions, please give a comment. If any feedback also, we are very happy to take the feedback. Okay, thanks guys for spending your time with our video. Okay, I hope this video will be very informative. If you want to say anything, or if you want to give any suggestions or any feedback, we are always ready to take it. Please subscribe to my channel and click on the bell icon so that whenever I upload a video, you will get a notification, and share it to your friends. Don't forget to share it to your friends, and we are looking for 100 subscribers. We are already 85. That's good. Like, I'm not worrying much about subscribers. At least few people able to see and able to learn things better at the college level, it will be good. My main aim is to help people through my knowledge. I like to teach things. So that's it friends, this is GK signing off. We'll meet in next video with another topic. Until then, take care, goodbye.